Sam Harrison doesn't let his handicap slow him down or keep him from being a devoted father and husband. I had the special opportunity to photograph them and create several award-winning portraits. My name is Nicole Carson Bonilla and I'm a portrait photographer. I was so excited to photograph Ashley and Sam. They have such a supportive relationship and I really wanted to capture both their emotional and their physical connection. But first, before you see the portraits, I would love for you to meet the Harrisons and hear their inspiring story.
I was in a snowboarding accident 13 years ago. I went off of a jump that I didn't know was there until the last second. It flipped me upside down. Thankfully I had a helmet on, so I didn't get brain injury, but when I hit the ground, the force of the impact shattered my spine on the 4th, 5th, and 6th vertebrae. Was permanently paralyzed from the neck down. I am a C5 quadriplegic and have been so for the last 13 years. I have a beautiful wife, Ashley, I've been married to for 15 and a half years. And I have 3 kids. We do all the same things that a normal family does, we just do them a little bit differently. And we all work together to just take on our roles in a different way so that we can still, accomplish all of our dreams as a family and still have a great and happy home life.
Our dad is special because he's in a wheelchair, so he can't do all the stuff normally. Like, he can't give us piggyback rides, but we do sometimes grab onto the back of his wheelchair and ride on him. He likes to spend time with us, and he normally helps us with our homework, like other dads.
So one of the things I like to do with my dad is play video games, and he has this special controller that he uses, and I like to say I win most of the time, and that his controller and his handicap doesn't play a part in it, because then I feel better when I beat him.
And we go swimming sometimes. We also like to go to the movie theaters and we eat out.
We watch the Green Bay Packers, and this year we're excited because they're playing in Arizona, and that's just one of our things that we do together. We like to watch the Packers. So my dad is different from other dads physically just because he can't do a lot of things like yard work and different chores around the house. I do some of those, but he goes out and he'll sit by me while I mow the lawn because he can't do it. And it's a really cool way for us to spend time together, and we can talk while I work, and it's fun.
Probably the biggest way that we've adapted is we've switched roles a little bit in some of the things that we do. So I do a lot more physical things, and Sam does a lot of the behind the scenes work. So I've learned how to fix some things, and I've gotten a lot more handy and stronger, and I'm not afraid to try to carry heavy things or just take on projects that typically I think I would just have asked him to do, or he would have wanted to do. And then Sam has picked up on the other end of things. He does a lot of our gift shopping, like when it comes to birthdays and Christmas, because he can go online and he's really thoughtful and he can put in the time there and the thought to do those sorts of things. And so we've just kind of shifted from traditional roles. Another thing that we've done that we still do that's different from other couples is that I help Sam with a lot of his physical needs.
My relationship with Ashley is definitely unique. I think that you have to be a little bit crazy to be in love with a quadriplegic and stay that way. Our relationship has definitely gone through the refiner's fire. We've had to confront a lot of things that a lot of couples don't confront until they're old, until they've already been together for 40 or 50 years. I'm really grateful that I have somebody like her to be able to go through that with, because she is a warrior. She is somebody that just doesn't quit. It's really amazing actually watching sometimes the tenacity that she's had in all of the different things that she's had to face in relation to my disability and almost being like a single parent in some ways.
One of the great things that Sam has always done for us is provide for us. So after his accident, he went back to school and then he started a business, and he's always worked, and he's a hard worker and very ambitious. And I think that our kids see that and recognize that we don't need to make excuses. One of our family mottos is Harrisons can do hard things. He doesn't make excuses for himself, and he's always setting goals and trying to be better and to do better, but he's always provided for us and taken care of us, even with his limitations.
So after not being able to drive for 12 years post-injury, just this last year in October, I was able to start driving as a fully licensed driver again in my truck, and it is such a blessing. It's pretty cool too. So the entire side of the truck opens up like a Lamborghini door, and then the lift drops down, and I get into the lift and lock into place. And then it lifts me and my chair all the way into the vehicle. And then it uses a drive-by-wire system, so it has gas and brake on one side and a horizontal steering wheel on the other, and then a computer system for all the secondary controls. And it actually has like a button up by the headrest that I use, and I just tap on that, and then I can do all of the other secondary controls. Anyway, it's super cool. I really, really love that I have the freedom to be able to drive myself places again. Honestly, the photo shoot was just a lot of fun. It was really great.
We had music playing, we were laughing, we were trying to keep more serious faces, but we kept laughing because we were having so much fun.
I guided them through poses that really embraced Sam's chair as an interesting element in the portraits.
It was really awesome to see Ashley so dolled up and just looking so beautiful.
Sam has such a fun, witty sense of humor, and he loves spending time with his kids. So I really wanted to creatively capture how they experience his wheelchair. So I took some old cardboard boxes and paper towel rolls to transform his chair into an airplane. His kids have only known him in his wheelchair, so to them it's not a limitation, but a source of imaginative possibilities.
So when I saw the pictures for the first time when we came in, and the first thing I thought was, my wife is hot. I mean, I was just blown away. They're just incredible. That's by far the best pictures that anybody's ever taken of us. Captures for me so much of the elegance, the beauty, and the personality of my wife, the fun that I have with my kids. I love that.
When I walked in and saw the photos, I was so amazed at how much they looked like us, but looked so much better than us. It was just a lot more intimate, a lot more personality, a lot more story. And that was probably the thing that touched me the most, was the expressions.
How you look in those photos, that's how I see you all the time. That's how I want other people to see you.
I am so grateful the Harrisons have these portraits to capture this phase of their lives, because this is how they're going to be remembered for generations to come.
You know, someday we're going to grow old and we're going to get ugly, and I mean, she's going to get a lot less ugly than me, but this is how I'm always going to picture my wife. When I'm old and I have Alzheimer's and I'm wandering through the halls of that nursing home, I'm going to be looking for my wife looking like this.
We just think we're normal and boring, and we just do our everyday thing. I think seeing ourselves in these portraits reminds us how beautiful life is and how beautiful our life is. In the midst of the everyday hustle and sometimes the chaos and just being busy in life, seeing something that reminds you of those still quieter moments and those feelings that you have for your spouse, that's going to be strong, and that's going to have a lasting effect on us.
I love these portraits so much that I entered them in the Portrait Masters International Awards program, and I am so excited to have won a silver award for the portrait of Sam and his girls, and a bronze with distinction award for the portrait of Ashley and Sam.
I get asked a lot of interesting questions as a quadriplegic. Yes, I can feel hunger. If I couldn't, I probably would die. Second, no, there's not a cure. And no, that doesn't mean that I don't have faith. No, there's not any hidden sins in my life that are keeping God from healing me. Those are some fun ones. Also, essential oils don't cure me. Magic wands don't cure me. Magnets don't cure me. You don't need to cure me. That's probably the big one there. I have accepted who I am and that this is part of me. It's made me a better person in a lot of ways. And if there's one thing that I would tell somebody else who goes through this, who's going through really any type of paralysis in their life, and a lot of times those paralysis that we experience are not visible, I would tell them, first of all, get out of bed every day. Just get up and get out of bed every day. It doesn't matter how bad of a day it is. Second of all, surround yourself with the right people. If you don't have the right people right now, go get the right people in your life, because there's going to be days when you can't and they can, and you need to let them. Third, you can do this. You really can. And fourth, if you don't know the solution, that doesn't mean that there isn't one. It just means that you need to keep looking. And that's true for so many different things. Just don't give up. And by don't give up, I mean keep looking. Don't just sit there and hope that it falls on your head, that all of a sudden, oh, there's the solution. It's out there. And if you keep searching for it and you keep fighting, you'll find it.
I think my dad is the greatest example of what I want to become, and because he's pretty awesome. He's a hard worker and he supports everyone around him, and he's just a true example of someone everyone wants to be.
I love my dad.